We do have Lazarus Gaming Painuser versus Alternate Attack Socke. Both these players in this short week, this is only week number 2, are 0-1 in the group. Again, we talk about this almost every time. It's, of course, not elimination, but in this group number 5 especially, with the players they are dealing with, this is the group of death. We do have to say every single week counts big time, and Alternate Socke does say, luck good, have fun. Painuser covering all his bases, GLHFGG.
Oh man, Painuser calling out the GG beforehand.
Getting it out of the way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I
Some
think
people don't GG, man.
GG. That's, it might be BM, yeah? You ever think of that
Maybe,
one?
yeah.
Actually, someone yelled at me one day for saying good. I said GGGL. That's what I always say.
At the beginning, and he yelled at you?
And he yelled at me for saying...
What did he say?
He's saying, why do you say good game when
my gosh.
we haven't even started? That's stupid.
They actually say that?
Yeah.
Was anyone know?
It was on the European server. It was. It was some... He was a Warcraft 3 professional. Former Warcraft 3 professional.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume it was Thorzane.
No, it wasn't Thorzane.
No. I was just picking a name out of the hat, basically. It was Grubby.
Maybe. No, it was in the beta, so it couldn't have been.
No, I know. We're just throwing names out to be funny.
It was definitely Grubby. Grubby's the most bad-mannered person in the world.
Oh, man.
No, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Socke from Alternate Attack, the team that also has, I believe, Dark Force. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
I feel like it is Dark Force, who did defeat Moment. So congrats to him. Alternate Attack has to be happy with this week. But, you know, of course, half their players, 50% of the roster that is involved in the North American Star League is being represented here. Now, Socke's got to feel good. He likes himself a PvT. This is his matchup. If you ever ask him how he feels about PvPs, he's one of the funniest things about Socke is he's probably the most honest frickin' gamer I've ever seen. A lot of people would say, no, Idris. Actually, Idris says some stuff for entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to burst that bubble. Socke does not. He could not care if you are entertained. He just wants to tell you exactly what's going on in his brain at that moment that you ask him. He was on State of the Game, and I was like, oh, Socke, you know, some funny anecdote. And he's like, it's not funny. Oh, sorry, dude. He's like, it's quite all right. Don't be sorry, but it just wasn't funny. Oh, okay. You are the most honest person ever. Painuser.
German humor's a little bit different. That's
I don't know what to do with that. Like, I absolutely agree with you, but I'm still waiting to see what German humor looks like. I've met myself a handful of Germans. I myself am mostly German, but I feel like
it's dry, man. It's much drier.
Is it? Name I can't. Who's a funny German? The only funny Germans I've ever seen are portrayed in like knee-high socks and suspenders with wooden shoes. And there's always like weird homosexual vibes. Apparently that's one of the funny things to make fun of them. I don't know.
I don't get that. I don't know why that would be funny.
I don't necessarily understand it either. I'm just saying that's like they always do.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not.
A little bit of a duel in the middle of the map. The Marine did bring his machine gun though. The Pro is left only with his personal tasing unit. Yeah. If the Marine were to try to take the purse of the Probe, he would be well equipped for that situation, but in a straight-up battle, not the best of situations. Zealot going to chase off the SCV. Both players kind of settling in. We do have Painuser throwing down a command center and a second barracks. No. So I was about to actually call it a factory, because we've been seeing some of that, which is kind of weird. Fast tank,
bunker.
And it's going to be 3-gate expand.
Time. And Painuser might be in a little bit of trouble right now.
Well, it should finish. It should finish. Not pulling the Marine back. That's kind of sloppy. And they get in there.
Oh, this is a great hit. Oh,
and yeah,
nice.
Instantly raises the depot. Very nice play by Painuser. This Stalker, however, can take care of itself. One Marine does go down. A second Marine is down. Tried to get it away, but not able to do that. Socke, can you escape? No, he loses both the Zealot and the Stalker in exchange for, I think, 3 Marines. Not a good trade.
Yeah.
Not a good trade.
I will agree. I will agree that.
Mathematically.
Mathematically, it was not a good trade.
Yeah.
You're correct. You are correct, sir.
Thank you.
3 gateways are up, and we did see a fast expansion out for both of these players. But Painuser cannot take that outwards position just yet. He is making an orbital command center, and then he lifts it. That's a very important idea. You want to get the orbital command center up instead of lifting it and then making it, so you're basically getting more minerals by the mana being recharged. See, we can already see it's at 12, 13, 14. By the time it lifts, it'll have lands, I should say, just around 20 mana. And that is...
It's a big difference.
That is 40%. 40% of a mule.
And I like this from Socke. This might not seem like a huge event for a lot of people, but what it is, as long as Socke's careful, you don't want to lose a stalker, is it's just doing one-way... I mean, it should be one-way damage. You did lose actually some health there. You want to just try to lose the shields. But seeing this many Marines tells you things. There's not add-ons going on those barracks. Now, of course, there is one add-on on one of the 3 barracks, but it also tells you that there's multiple barracks. You don't produce as many Marines off of 1 barracks or 2, so you kind of get a feel for what the player's doing. He did pick off an SCV even, and I believe he almost picked off a Marine. So this actually can steamroll a little bit here, and here we go. 3 stalkers now. 1 Marine does go down, and a second. There's a third. So yeah, just a little bit of damage.
Playing so well. I love this.
Oh, he's got to be careful though.
Playtime's over.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Stalker.
Marauder. Marauder's the big overbearing brother of the little Marines. Were you guys having problems with those bullies? And then he runs on the play yard and shoots his freaking grenade launcher at him. Yeah. No more problems.
No more problems indeed. Now 4th barracks goes down. We don't see a factory tech at all. And looks like Painuser just wants to overdevelop his ground army. He's getting a lot of Marine Marauders, and he has to take a timing. There's nothing else. You have to take a timing and pressure in, get that sentry count low. That's the goal of this.
Yeah.
To get the sentry count lower, and ultimately you can kind of dilute the Colossus count because they have to spend their gas to non-Colossus units. Colossus takes up so much gas, 200. Whereas if you kill all the sentries, let's say you need to replace 4, that's 400 gas and theoretically 2 Colossus. But we're going to see how Painuser goes about attacking because there's not great engagement points on this map.
Now Observer is making its way into the Terran base as we speak. It does see the very heavy barracks play, 3 tech labs, and a single reactor. As well as the fairly late factory, it will be made aware of the fact that there is not too much tech behind this, but a well, okay, I'm not going to use that word. A heavy dose of the bio.
I use girth.
That's cool. Painuser does have the not the factory, not even Painuser. I was just trying to talk about Socke. Single Colossus being chrono boosted at this moment, as well as the Lance upgrade. He's going to go ahead and tear down the rocks for his 3rd location. Now, here's what I like about his situation. He does have 5 sentry, and they've been here for a little while. He did tack on a couple there just moments ago. But the earlier you get them, the more mana they're going to have, and 5 in PvT is about the most you ever want to have. They don't do a lot of damage. They die quite quickly. They wander to the front of the battle, and that's just where they blink out. But with those force fields and Colossus in tow, that's the super army. If you can keep that bio at bay while the Colossus dish out all the damage, that is the stuff of nightmares.
Now, Painuser opts not to take this timing push, and he's going to run into a lot of problems, in my opinion, because he gets out the Viking count and the medevac counts a bit later. He won't have tons of medevacs, and what that's going to do is weaken his army into the mid game because he's only going to have 2. A lot of times Terrans like to have 4 medevacs or even 6 if they can squeeze that out.
Yeah.
But he'll only have 2, and then he has to instantly start making Vikings. And his Viking count will be low. We can already see a 2nd Colossus almost on the way out. He has no Vikings out at all. So there is a little bit of timing for Socke.
Yeah.
To just take advantage of the fact that my Colossus are super strong, and I can use that in conjunction with force fields and be super efficient, and that's what we see right now.
Yeah, Socke might be aware of this timing you're talking about.
He's going to push out, man.
The Observer has only seen Bio make its way to the middle of the map, and he's got to figure, okay, unless there's some kind of crazy proxy Viking going on, which you've never actually seen because it doesn't happen, then he's the man of the hour, and he's going to push forward. And, Painuser trying to exchange. Force fields go down. Painuser still trying to wash up against those force fields and pulling back his gateway units. Nicely microed by Socke. And look at that. Those are the cubicles of death. This is the worst office space you've ever been in, where the cubicle is actually where you die.
And that's what I'm talking about. That battle was so one-sided because Painuser just did not have the tech associated to deal with this Protoss army. Now we can see a nice drop. Painuser switching up a bit, but Socke insta retreats and will get into position. But I think Painuser will back up and get out of here. Get out of here, Painuser. Oh, he tries to go back. No! And he loses the medevac. That's a huge hit. As Painuser actually gets 2 more medevacs. Oh, no! That is terrible. He can't afford this. He cannot afford this.
Oh, man. That was like the president's daughter or something. Why did he go back to that Marine? Socke just going to kind of sit on this advantage. He has to feel happy with how he handled that drop. The exchange in the middle of the map was pretty darn good for him as well. He did lose, a few zealots, maybe a stalker, a sentry or 2, but really it was the story of how the Terran army just melted away. And now Socke is sitting on 4 Colossus. Blink upgrade has been initiated. His 3rd base is about to complete, as well as now upgrading attack on the first forge. Well, I say first forge, it's only forge. Maybe not. He might not opt for more. Multiple dropships making their way out here. First one's moving down right down the middle of the map, but he does have control of the tower, so that's not as precarious as you'd like to think. And I like, well, okay, I was going to say I like this, but actually Socke's prepared for everything. He's got double cannon at the back of his natural. That will hold off the drop. And he probably should be able to warp in to cover this main drop as well. But Painuser will stagger the drops. I like that. And oh, no, he froze. He stopped at the pylon.
Red light. Green light.
There is no blink. Oh my gosh, he's going right in here. What is he thinking? This is a one-way trip. Really poorly executed drop. Really poor.
Yeah. Red light indeed.
And a 3rd drop, making its way to the 12 o'clock. I kind of feel like this one's been spotted, or Socke's just covering all his bases because he's actually perusing over here. Now Blink has, well, it's got about 1 second till it's complete, which means this medevac has no way to exit unless the army is just miles away. And right now it's just kind of sharking around just outside reach. So charge has been upgraded, or initiated, excuse me. And I mean, what can Painuser do to get back from here? Do you turtle? Do you go high aggression? What do you do?
I mean, Painuser is really far behind. He needs to get an amazing concave, but even then, with Socke having 6 Colossus, you cannot have. Let me see how many Vikings he has. He has 4 Vikings out.
Yeah.
And right now, like Painuser feels like he's dead in the water. As Socke is at 170 supply, Painuser at 133, and just Painuser doesn't have the army composition. He was not scaling correctly. He got his tech late, didn't take that timing, and because of that, we're going to see a very one-sided battle coming up. As Socke, I like this play. He's just checking, hey, is there an expansion? Let me check the entire map. He has a pylon place over here. He's going to bring his probe up. And Socke right now, he can have his ways. He can have his ways. He can just max 200 out of 200, get his upgrades up, and then attack. He doesn't even need to attack, but I mean, it behooves him to, as he doesn't want to wait until Terran has 200.
Yeah, he's playing super safe. He does have a huge lead. We've seen this before, and we do want to caution our viewers that, I mean, at this moment, Socke is obviously the significant favorite, but Painuser is upgrading fairly well. He does have 2-2 on the way. This does give him a chance to get more Vikings out. He does have +1 air attack going down, which is really good for those Vikings, but he might be pushing out just a little bit too soon trying to get those rocks. Socke, blood in the water, and ooh, man, Painuser really wants those rocks dead because he's going right back out for him.
Keep in mind, the Dark Shrine is underway for Socke. Socke will have the ability to do that really, really annoying harass that I hate.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Are bothersome.
It really is hard to keep up.
Look at this map vision from Socke. This proxy pylon, he has the back tower. There's really nowhere Painuser can go. I mean, the snap answer is, well, he can go to the bottom of the map. No, there's actually like a pylon perimeter extending his vision for the Protoss base inside his own main, but he even has a zealot at that 3rd base location as well. Now, Painuser did clear out that 4th location. The pylon and the rocks are gone. He is landing a command center there. So, I mean, if this game goes a little bit further, I'm kind of questioning Socke's choice there. He was way ahead.
Yeah.
Supplies are about to equalize. Painuser has double expanded and quite frankly could even triple expand. And if the game goes much further, I don't know. He's got a couple of ghosts too. His army's starting to kind of take that super army look.
I think we're going to see a 3-1 upgrade, and then he's going to push. Or maybe he's going to push now. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to... Oh!
Nice blink.
Blink hitting... Oh, nice force fields.
Well,
or, excuse me, nice EMPs.
Yeah. That's. I mean, he did get those force fields off, but the sentries they're void of energy. That's it.
Yep. And now these Colossus can pressure up on Painuser's gas. He needs to be a little bit careful, as the Vikings are right there, susceptible. He will be susceptible to any Viking play. That one command center had to lift off, as the Dark Templars just said, LOL, I don't think so.
Not today.
Not today, maybe tomorrow.
No.
But
Socke is now double upgrading off the forges. He does just have the Dark Templar. No Templar out. Pretty well upgraded. He is at 3-1 attack and 1 armor.
Now,
so 3 attack, 1 armor.
Keep in mind, Painuser has hard countered quite a bit with these Vikings. He went 4 starports, which I do like, don't get me wrong, but when you're on 2 bases...
It's really hard to afford that.
Yeah, you cannot afford anything else because the Vikings pop pretty fast. So you're going to have a little bit of a weak
he's drying up too. His main's gone.
Actually, he's 2-2, so not bad. But
this
is 21 minutes in. 20 minutes in, so okay, he has plenty of time. But still, Socke is in commanding position right now.
It has been for a while.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the only problems I have with this.
I love this.
Because I feel like he could have ended the game a while ago. He is getting Templar and Sonic Storm now.
That's what I love.
And it's worth noting that he's warped in the Templar early, and that's something that a lot of people need to pay more attention to. They need time to get that mana up. They no longer have the Gator and Amulet. But here's the big fight. Vikings in the front. They are thinning out this Colossus. Big EMPs do go down, but there's just too much DPS. I feel like Painuser does only have the 2 medevacs, and Socke did take a lot of losses there, but still is in a commanding lead. I mean, there's 4 Colossus surviving that fight. He's got infinite warp ins, I gotta assume. Yeah,
so many warp gates. And now Socke will reinforce this army. He has 3-2 upgrades against probably 2-2, I believe. Yes, 2-2 upgrades for his opponent. And remember what I was saying, I think yesterday. When you're ahead in economy, even trades are beneficial to you.
Yes.
You want even trades. And if you can get even better than that, then that's an even bigger advantage. And this is what we see. Painuser is trying to remax, but, you know, a minute, 2 minutes later, he's at 80 supply. Yep. Socke tries to remax, he's at 190 supply.
Yeah.
That, my friend, is a QQ movement.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, the other big thing here, too, is that Painuser cannot afford to get the Viking count back up.
No.
However, Socke is on 3 Robo Colossus, and it shows. He's actually sitting at 5 Colossus, 6, 7, 8 Colossus. He even forgot one. Okay, there it is as natural. I just reminded him with my Proton teleconnect abilities. Yeah, look pretty cool. And now there's 2 Templar in tow. There should be no stopping this army, even with the EMPs and just the raw supply. I mean, if you look, Painuser is just limping up to 100 supply, and he's sitting on.
Doesn't even. Oh, just GG's. Well,
here's the arm. That's that moment in Monopoly when the guy puts the hotels on the blue ones, and you go, all right, well, good game.
Yeah.
Want to play again, and we'll see who lands on it first.
Not too good. But if you didn't know, Monopoly, I used to play that competitively. It's best to get the yellows.
Really?
Yeah, yellows are statistically
Marvin Gardens?
most probable. Yes, Atlantic. It's Atlantic, Marvin Gardens, and
if you can recall, this would be pretty incredible.
I want to say Ventnor, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's awesome.
I can't remember. Ventnor Avenue? Yeah, it was
Ventnor Avenue, our producer.
Boom.
Apparently we're all, we gotta stop playing and we go play
Yellow
Monopoly.
is the most probable to land. Okay, I'm gonna...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Commanding play by Socke. Yeah. I mean, he had the lead for about 6, 7, 8 minutes, and because each match, like we've been saying for a while now, is so important, like Socke, going into this best of 3 has to be saying to himself, okay, I lost week 1 to Idra, I can kind of count on that, I understand why that happened. Week 2 against Painuser, I have to be feeling confident, I should win that series. And again, it's, you know, Painuser's no slouch. He definitely deserves to be in this league, but in a league, or in a division rather, with such huge names, he is one of the underdogs. I'm going to come out and say it. There's nobody who's saying, well, Painuser's got division number 5. No problem. Yeah, him versus Boxer should be pretty easy. He's actually one of the guys that has to prove himself here, and in game number 1, he didn't do it. Socke took the lead and ran with it.
That game, I think, was a game of experience. Socke got that observer in and saw 4 barracks before factory. I'm pushing out with 2 Colossus. Who says that? I'm pushing out with 2 Colossus.
I became a better player today because I watched him do that, I'll tell you that. Yeah. I didn't make that read in the past.
Oh, well.
And now that I see Socke
shouldn't have said that, because now my Terran builds will be destroyed.
Success.
Well, that's why you always see me. Well, you don't always see me, but I favor the 2 back racks or 3 racks factory. But really, you can't go to 4. If you do 4, you might as well do 5.
You have to hit him.
No, you might as well do 5. Because 4 is like right in the middle, and it's weak It doesn't give you the best push, and it doesn't give you the best tech. So it's either you 5 or you 2 or 3. 3 is a little bit safer to... I do that in case there's like... I'm afraid of someone doing a 6-rack or 6-gate all-in. But 2 is what I like to do and just defend up with a lot of bunkers. But that's the big thing. You see 4 barracks, you say, pushing out with 2 Colossus and having a good sentry count. That's what we saw. Socke took the commanding lead, and then snowball to the win.
He is at 1-0 in this short best of 3. We're going to go to Metalopolis in just a moment. Please join us. It's like twice as effective against Marines as against Marauders, and then having the Immortal even target down the Marauders. So fantastic army control by Socke. And why not? It's game number 3. This is the North American Star League. Hell, it's only $50,000 for first place prize. I guess each of these players would like to win that.
Maybe. Perhaps. Now we do see Painuser buckling down. He's getting 2 bunkers. Do you know what I'd love to see?
What?
Upgrade on the armor for bunkers.
You and me both, buddy. But I think you're the only Terran that does it right
Dude,
now.
it's the best upgrade ever. Literally. 3 armor for a bunker. Sentries do 3 damage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I have a Guardian Shield permanently on all my bunkers.
Drop loading up. He's got to scan ahead of this because there's actually a little bit of a meeting for him. 2 Stalkers and a Photon Cannon. That Natural's heading right towards it.
Painuser, don't do a cloud.
No.
Don't do a cloud.
Turns back. Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. That's fine. The medevac did take some dents. It will not fly as true and proud as it once did, but at least everyone inside still has a family to return to. Now, Painuser is going to mass up at home. Lots and lots of bio. He's sitting on 6 barracks. A 2nd starport being added as we speak. And he's on 3 base, same as the Protoss. In fact, he's saturated ahead of the Protoss. And he did a little bit of a greedy move here, in fact. He went for orbital command. It's not super greedy.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
Because a planetary there doesn't do that much with the way the ramp is sitting. But it still is, we can consider it the greedier choice. A planetary would help here. It anchors the defense, that's for sure.
But the problem right now, he doesn't have a good amount of Vikings out on the field. You can see in the units tab, 2 Vikings out, whereas there are 5 Colossus. Again, it's like game 1 all over again.
Well, if he gets some time, he does have the 2 reactor starport, and this time he's on 3 base. And none of these are half bases. That was the other problem in that game 1.
Well, another problem is that he has 5 gas instead of 6. He needs that extra gas, where Socke, he's pulling in complete gas. And that's the biggest thing. Your gas is the bottleneck. That's where you need, that's what you need. That's the resource you need to get your tech, to get your upgrades. And if you don't have that gas, you're not making the optimal army composition, you're not making the best upgrades, nor are you getting the bunker armor.
Protoss is going to go to 2-2 in just a moment here. In fact, 3-3 is started almost immediately, at least at the armor. I can only assume attack will be shortly in tow.
Assume so.
And that's huge. Oh, no, of course, the Terran's approaching 2-2 as well, but I feel like the upgrades scale a little bit better for Protoss. 3 attack Colossus just does so much damage. And part of the reason, too, is because you're not typically upgrading your mech, so your Vikings get picked off super fast. When they get hit by a Stalker that has 3 attacks, it's like God himself is poking it in the head with a lightsaber. It's just not a good place to be.
God is poking someone with a lightsaber in the head.
Yeah, it's like, God doesn't need a lightsaber. Well, imagine God with a lightsaber. 6 Colossus. A 2nd Robo has been constructed. Socke has his PvT pretty figured out. Everything looks pretty rhythmic. Like, this is exactly what he did in the first game. All the upgrades are pretty much at the exact same time. Painuser are shoving out, though, and that's actually a lot of Vikings. That's the thing about double reactor.
Yeah.
No Vikings, 2 seconds later. Oh, wow, that's a lot of Vikings.
However,
not that many medevacs, though. Again, with just the 2.
Yep. Well, the burst damage of Colossus is quite troublesome, and if the Colossus count is pretty high, the medevacs can be a little bit problematic.
Colossus are in the front.
1 Colossus will go down.
For the cost of like a Viking in the life or the health of 2 others.
That's a pretty nice exchange.
I don't want Painuser to go down this ramp. If he goes down this ramp, I think it's huge trouble.
Ish don't think so. Oh, but might be blinking. These Vikings aren't in great position. But nope, not gonna blink.
Yeah, and I feel like Painuser needs to take a 4th back here and just I mean, he has banked a lot of money.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Marines and Marauders are still queued to that medevac. So they're moving over to that medevac. It looks like a lot of Painuser units.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, he needs to back up.
And he blinked up and sniped both the dropships. In just one short moment, Painuser removes all the medevacs from his fight and not half, but a chunk of the units. And look at this proxy pylon at the high yield for Socke. He has actually spotted this 4th base attempt from Painuser. I think if Socke needed any more encouragement to attack right now, it would have to be a bull chasing after him. Here he goes.
3-3. He should just wait for
and there's a big blink. The Vikings taking some unnecessary damage. Colossus walking forward. And
he's gone wait for 3-3.
Yeah, I believe what you say is true, but man.
Boom. Hits 3 armor. Hits 3 attack. Now he comes up. Well, now he comes up.
Getting his army under control. There's the Guardian Shield.
Force fields go down.
No medevacs. Force field's going to walk this away. Nope, actually just a partial exchange there. And Stalker's trying to focus on the Vikings, and they're all going to go down pretty quick. Actually, they're doing good damage as Colossus. I think all the Colossus might die. No.
Losing that many Vikings is...
Well, he got the last shot.
So hard. So hard. And on top of that, he has no medics to heal anything. His one planetary fortress will be scattered and will not be able to yield any resources as Socke just regathers his units and now prepares for another attack.
Here's the one problem on Socke, though.
Putting High Templars.
He's got 2 Colossus coming out for a total of 4, and then he's maxed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way I can see Painuser win this, and I think that's where it starts. It's not as many Colossus as he could have had to deal with. Of course, part of the problem might be that he overmakes Vikings against 4 Colossus, and then he's in trouble anyways. Planetary Fortresses are tough, but not so tough that they can take on this.
I wish.
That'd be ridiculous, man. It does go down, and everybody with it.
By the way, do you know how good a Planetary Fortress is with 5 armor instead of 3?
Quite good, I would imagine.
It is pretty good. When sentries deal 1 damage against you, it feels so good.
Probably tickles.
It does. But look at this. Painuser and Socke, I think they want to get together a little
Communal
bit.
bases down there.
I know. Turning communist.
In one pocket of the world, these two are getting along, and I think that's nice to see.
But it's...
Oh no, he's trying to build a nexus there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Socke's not going to have that once he sees it.
Their alliance will come to an end, I believe, pretty soon here.
It's like Monopoly.
Big drop for Painuser. 12 o'clock. Only 1 photon can there. This base, unfortunately, is pretty dried out.
Yeah.
There is a lot of infrastructure here, so that's the well, that's not a good choice. I just want to get rid of them. They all die. Now, Socke's going to react by attacking. That might be just too much of Painuser units, or this could be the boost he needed. 3 bunkers are there.
You can hold this off, but High Templars are in here. And oh, big storm!
This off.
Oh, big storms again!
This is a bad angle for Socke. It just might be too much, though.
Yeah, I think it
2 bunkers do go down.
As all the Colossus look like they're going to be cleaned up. And
Socke's pulling back. Socke's drying up a little bit.
Oh, no, he has more High Templars.
Well, I mean, this attack inside the main of Socke, this can start stockpiling here. This can steamroll. Socke's been held up, excuse me. And this army inside, okay, well, there's a Templar ready to meet it, but look, no Kidarian Amulet, no Storm. And there's the Robos.
The target goes down, that's going to be a huge hit. But Socke,
nice micro by Painuser.
He'll get up here. And take care of the rest of these Marines and Marauders. Now, a big thing, I mean, all these medevacs will be picked off.
Except for the one with units in it.
Now, a little bit, I don't think Socke should have attacked through that choke. There was really no need to. If he went through the bottom, it would have been much better. Of course, I have 20/20 in this game.
Right.
Whereas there's double blind for them, so they need to be a bit careful. But if Socke approached that push from a different angle, it would have been a much, much different game. But as it is now, I mean, Socke, he could potentially lose this game.
It's tough. It's tough to call. I mean, he is mining from lower right very, very sporadically. Yeah. It's not a high retention whatsoever. He is in a commanding lead in terms of supply, and he now has 5 Colossus. The big thing is that Painuser can't afford any Vikings, like at all. So here's what Painuser's doing. He's kind of committing. He's going all for it. He's in the middle of the map, and he's been had. Actually, that tower's just spotted him, and Socke looks at it and says, I can eat that for lunch. Colossus raking in the damage. Painuser cannot afford this big blink.
Needs to get out of here, Painuser. Oh, he's going to engage here, and this is going to be most of his army that gets destroyed. Painuser cannot do that.
It is.
GG, well played. And like Painuser stepping on Boardwalk when there's a hotel on it.
Game over, man.
Monopoly.
Say it like Nicolas Cage.
Monopoly.
Well played. So Socke will advance to 1-1 in the group. Painuser unfortunately falls 0-2. It's easy to lose in this group, though, and be like, well, they're all really good players. Don't tell that to Painuser, though. He is a competitor, a fierce, fierce player. He did very well at MLG Dallas, but all the MLGs in 2010, he actually just tore them up, beating White Raw, Rhett in one of them. An amazing, amazing player. So don't count him out just yet. It is early in the North American Star League. He can recover. Crazier things have happened, and I'll tell you what, the difference between his play in Week 1 and now in Week 2, I can see it. Socke is a PBT specialist, one of the best from Europe, continuously in and around the top 5 of just about every tournament he enters, taking down big names. And here against Painuser, he went down to the wire, and this game had its moments, but let's give our hats, or tip our hats, excuse us, to Socke, something all over it. Socke played so well, executing his strategies flawlessly, reading his opponent, saying, you know what, that's I think drop's going to happen in the natural. He was ready for it, spotted it, and just brilliant control. So congrats to Socke. You are now at 1-1 and looking good for Week 3.
That's going to do it. So congratulations to him from the bottom of my heart. As I really like Socke's play. I love to watch his games. And Painuser also is one of my huge heroes of Terran in the North American scene. So congrats to him. And we're going to go and move on to our next match.
Walk a water flow, call me Jesus, I made you, why hate you?